What's good, everybody? It's your boy Rob, and I'm back with another video. I have here sort of like a semi-requested video where I had some people that wanted me to do a walkthrough of the UI of the 7 Pro and the OnePlus 8. Now, real quick, we're gonna do a real quick check of the fingerprint sensor so we can see how fast and improved the 8 has got in comparison to the 7 Pro. Try that. 1, 2, 3. Rock that out again. Had a hard time reading it. Want to be even. 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty close. One more time. It's kind of hard doing this from behind the camera. All right. 1, 2, 3. So from every now and then, this one tends to be a little slow, but it's still fast. But the OnePlus 8 is really blazing fast. But it's hard to make a final determination just based on what I'm doing right here. 1, 2, 3. Almost even right there. So let's just say there is a slight improvement with the OnePlus 8. But you're not going to lose anything with the 7 Pro. Now, real quick, as you take note, the 7 Pro fingerprint light sensor is a little lower than the OnePlus 8. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and, sorry, camera bump. Let's check out the launcher. There's not any changes as far as the launchers. They're literally set up word for word in the same manner. With the 7 Pro and 8, the launcher is pretty much set up the same way. You can have a home screen only or a home screen with a drawer. So that hasn't changed. They're both pretty similar. You can also choose your own icon pack, either from the one that's pre-installed from OnePlus. They have their own set of icon packs, or icon packs that you may have used from previous launchers. You can do things like double tap to lock, notification dots on. Your home screen layout is pretty much the same. 5 icons, 4 or 3 rows or columns. And you can change the icon size from very small. They have a medium. And you can make them really stand out on the 3rd setting. So from one launcher on the 7 Pro to the 8, no difference. Real quick, check out the about phone. Now, as you can see, this is a Snapdragon 855, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. The camera is a 48, 16, 8 megapixel triple camera with a Fluid AMOLED 6x6.7 inch display. With the OnePlus 8, you're getting 8 gigs of RAM, 128 with a 48, 16, and 2 megapixel triple camera system with a 90 hertz Fluid AMOLED panel 6.5. Now, they're both running Android 10, Oxygen OS 10.0.3 on the 7 Pro, and on the 8, we're running Oxygen 10.5.7. All right, so let's go to the settings menu. And in general, the setting menu pretty similar. There's no real huge difference. Everything is pretty much labeled. I think all Android phones are pretty much their settings is pretty much labeled in the same manner. There is a customization section which used to be in the display. You used to have to do some of your customization within the display settings, but they have their own separate customization settings, and as you can see, no difference. Update, everything is verbatim the same way. So that's a good thing for those who have a 7 Pro and those who have any type of OnePlus. You know they're going to carry that same look, that same setup throughout all their phones as long as they're being updated to the current version of Android. So that's pretty much it as far as the settings go. You're not really seeing any type of difference. I think where you may find some of the bigger differences is in how the camera is set up. Now, As you can see right here at the top of the 7 Pro, which is right here, you have the aspect ratio right there. They're both in photography, all right? You can set it in 4:3, then they got the full camera, then you tap that, and then if you go into that, they got the 1:1 aspect ratio. So they make it real easy to toggle between which aspect ratio you're gonna take the picture in. Now, to get a different aspect ratio, you have to go into the settings, and then you have to do the clicking inside of the settings to change it from a 4:3 to full to 1:1. Now remember, like I said in the 7 Pro, that's part of the actual camera UI. You don't have to go into the settings to do that. Where the 8 makes it a little bit more easier is you can toggle between which camera you want to use to take a certain picture in. Now, the 12 megapixel is the lens that will give you your 2x, your 1x, and your 0.06. But if you go into the 48 megapixel, using that particular camera sensor, you can't punch in or do any of that. Now, when you punch up on the 7 Pro, they have the same settings, a 0.6, 0.6, 1x. Now here's the difference. The 7 Pro punch in 3 times. The 8 only goes to 2. Now if you want to dial it to a 3, you have to manually press on that, on the actual icons, and then dial it up to the 3. So basically that's the only way you can get 3 times zoom if you're using that. It's just that it's not part of the auto settings when it comes to using the 8. There's a lot of things in the settings menu. The camera on the 8 make it easier to get to the settings if you need to on the camera, where you can change some of the things. You can do an ultra shot HDR. This is where you'll find your video resolution. You have that deep in the settings. Now, if you go to video on the 7 Pro, if you want to get 1080/30, all you have to do is highlight the bar up top and then just tap 1080/30 and the camera is ready. With the 8, you have to tap it in the settings, then back all the way out and then take the video. If I want to up it to 1080/60, again, you have to come into the settings, pump it up to 1080/60, and so on and so on for each settings they have. Now they do have the handshake stabilizer, where you can turn on the image stabilization by clicking that button up top, and it'll let you know that super stable is turned on. Both phones have pro settings, that's a plus. They have nightscape. You also have portrait mode. It also gives you a quick reading of how far away you have to stand from each person. So that's pretty much it as far as the camera UI. It's a little bit more extra steps when it comes to the OnePlus 8. So that pretty much does it with my comparison of the OnePlus 7 Pro and the OnePlus 8. Nothing has changed. The only thing where you have to do a little bit more extra is in the camera settings of the OnePlus 8. Other than that, these phones are virtually the same phone. So if you have any questions, please leave that down below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I'll catch everybody in the next video. I'm out.